Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to learn how to create each seed for each unique keys of a column. So let's give you an example. If you look into this Excel file, then you can see that in this worksheet food cells I do have a category column, and if you look into the category column I do have 4 different categories. So what I want to do is that I want to get data for this bars category, okay? And you can see I do have 94 records, and I want to copy this bar records to a new worksheet, and I'll just put this worksheet name as bars, and then I'll just copy paste those filtered records into this bar, okay, like this. And that's my end goal on this video. Make sure you watch that till the end if you want to understand all the code in Office script. So before going into all the technical details, I would request you to subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon so that you can get all the notification for upcoming videos. So let's get started. So I have recorded 3 different videos on this topic, okay? So far I have built up those initial coding, and the first one is that how to delete all the seed except the active seed. So why this is necessary, let me explain that, okay? So let's suppose if I run the code first time, I will get all the worksheet, that's my expected output, right? All the 4 category worksheet. Now if I want to run the code again, then I want to clean those up, right? So I want to delete all those seeds first, and then I want to recreate them, okay? That's one way. Or we can just check that, okay, if that category seed already exists, then delete that and recreate it, okay? That's another way. So that's the first video I have recorded, how to delete all the seeds except the first one. I'll put the link for that video in the cards or in the description. Make sure you watch that. Now our next idea is that I need to get all the unique categories, all the distinct categories, right? I do have another video on that topic. I'll put the link for that video as well. Make sure you watch that if you want to understand that code as well. I will not explain those code because I have already explained in those 3 different videos. And the third one is that how to get all the matching rows, okay? Let's say I just give you the data range, and I'll just say, okay, I need to do the filtering on column 4 on column category, and then I just want to see that what should be the data for the bars category, okay? That's my third video. I'll put the link for that as well. So let's copy all those code into one script, and then I'll list it from there, okay? So let me do that first. So at first you need to go into the automate tab, click on the new script. This will put a default name. I'll just rename this for create one seed for each key, okay? That's my script name. I'll delete all of this boilerplate code. So let me copy previous code. So I have copied all the code from previous 3 videos. This is the first one, delete all seeds except the active seed, and get distinct items and get matching rows, okay? So I'll declare some constant. First one is what should be the source seed name. As a naming convention I am using all caps for the truly constant one, okay? And that is food cells, okay? And then another constant, and that is data range address, and that is 22i245, and then constant header range address, and that is a1 to i1, okay? So these are my constant, okay? And one more constant is based on which column, so that is call index. So I'm going to do this, create one seed for the category, so that is 5th column, and it's a 0 based index, so that's why this is going to be 4th index, right? So that is the 4th. Okay, now the first thing that I want to delete all the seeds except this active one, okay? That is food cells, right? So I can just say, okay, delete all seeds except active seed, and I'm just going to pass this work code, okay? So that's the first step. It will delete all the seeds except the active seed. Instead of active seed, I could pass the seed name as well, that okay, I want to keep that seed and to delete that other seeds, okay? But for now, when I will run this code, I'll just keep the food cells as active seed, so it will delete all the seeds except the food cells. Now the next part is that I need to find those range, right? So let's do them. So constant at first get the seats, right? So data seats, and that is going to be workbook.get worksheet, and if you just pass the worksheet name, that is going to be the seat name, then it will return me the worksheet, right? Sorry, get worksheet. And if you look at the documentation, it says that okay, pass the key as a string. Okay, so we get the data set. Now let's get the data range. So that is going to be this data sets dot get range, and that is data range address. Okay, and now let's see the header range. That is going to be data set dot get range and then header range address. Okay, so I have retrieved all of those parameters, right? Now the next part is that I need to get the unique list of items, right? So unique categories. So that is going to be constant distinct items. That is going to be get distinct items. Now I need to pass the range for that category column, right? So in that case I need to say okay, the data range, but not the whole data range, but only that category column range. So I'll just say get column, and I can pass a index, and that is going to be call index. Okay, so it will give me all the distinct items. So let's just print this and let's see in action. Okay, distinct items. So save this first and run this, and you can see I get bars, crackers, cookies and snacks. So that's a good sign, right? So now I need to do a loop, right? So that is going to be on the distinct items. So distinct items dot for each, and that is going to be current key. I am using current key instead of current category because I can just change this category to product and I'll get all the sets for that product, right? I'll show that in action. So make sure you watch till the end. Okay, so distinct items dot for each. So what I need to do, I need to check that if I already have a worksheet by that name. Actually I shouldn't have, because I already deleted all of the sets, so I can safely do that. But if you want to skip this option that you don't want to delete the set, then the first step should be like get the set for that particular key, and if it's already exists then delete it and then recreate it. Okay, that's the standard way. So as I am deleting all the sets at the beginning, so I shouldn't have that, right? So I'll just add a set. So constant new set, and that is going to be workbook dot add worksheet, and then you can pass the name for that particular worksheet, and that is going to be this current key. Okay, so I get this current key and just use to a string to get the string version of that. Okay, so I get the set. Now I need to get the data for that particular key, right? So matching rows, and that is going to be get matching rows, right? So I need to pass the data range, that is just actually the data range. I need to pass the call index, and then the third option is the value, and that is going to be this current key, right? And I get the matching rows, so I need to put the matching rows in the new set. So before that I want to put the headers, so that is going to be new set dot get range, and start at A1, and I want to resize, get resize range, and that is going to be the delta rows, and it just says okay, expand these A1 cell to n number of rows and n number of columns. So I don't want to expand this to n number of rows because it's going to be only one rows. So I'll just put zeros, and the delta column is going to be the number of column we have in the header range, right? So that is going to be header range dot get column count. Actually we can use the data range as well, -1, because it will expand this number of column, so it will add one more column with this A1, so that's why -1. And dot set values, and then that is going to be header range dot get values, and that's part for the setting up the headers. Okay, so in this one I am just setting of header. So let's save this up to this part, and let's run this, and let's see if it's creating those sets and if it's putting the header or not. So let's run this, and you can see I do have those sets, right, like this. And if I go one sheet, then you can see I get the headers. So let's set up the matching rows, and that is going to be starting from row 2. So new sheet dot get range, so you start at row 2, that is A2, dot get resized range. So number of rows will be the number of rows we have in this matching rows, -1, because that is expanding that number of rows, right? So that is just length -1, and number of column, that is just like a header range or data range. You can put any one of these actually. Get column count -1. So I'm expanding up to that part. It's just like the VBA resize version, okay? And then set values, and the set values is going to be the matching rows. Now you'll understand why I am using this delete all seats except active one, because I already have all of those seats, right? So that's why I'm doing the cleanup process at the beginning, and then I'm recreating this each of the seats. Now you can see before running the code that I don't have the matching records, I just have the headers, right? So I'll just save this and I'll just run this again, and you can see that now this time I do have all the data, matching data. And if you look into this one, so let's do the filtering, and you will see that I do have only the bars category. Okay, so that's how you can split one set into multiple sets based on a specific column. Okay, I promise that I'll show you this for the product column. So what I need to do, I just need to change the column index to 5 instead of 4. Now you'll see that why I'm using this one, because if you look into this product category, you will not find the bars because there is no bars product. That's a category, right? And if I run this again, then if I don't do this, then it will keep those sets, and I don't want to do that. I want to clean up this first, that it should delete all the sets first. Okay, so let's run this again, and we will be able to see 9 work sets for the product. Okay, so let's run this, and you can see I get the carrot, right? So you can see the carrot column data, right? So if I go into this and filter out for carrot, right, you'll see 64 records, and if you look into this, you'll see that there are 64 records. Count is 64, right? So that's how we can split a specific set into multiple sets based on a key column. So that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any question or suggestion, and consider subscribing and sharing this video so that more people can be benefited from this video. Have a good day.